What's up, guys? It's Matt with part 2 of my deployment haul. I had about 16 boxes worth of comics that I've already opened up and put everything in Mylar. Definitely valuable lesson learned. Some eBay sellers package the most inexpensive comics really well, and some sellers packaged some very expensive comics in a flimsy envelope and a backboard. So definitely have to be more careful when choosing who you buy from. So I've got mostly just a lot of flimsy comics, raw comics, and a couple graded. So I'm just going to go through them real quick. Here is number 1, Spawn number 1, Todd McFarlane. I've never actually owned this comic before, so this is a first for me. Near mint copy. It's direct edition, so not too hard to find a near mint, but glad just to have it in the collection. Beautiful art. Number 2, this one's for my daughter. This is a Supergirl Rebirth number 1, signed by Adam Hughes and Steve Orlando. Obviously Adam Hughes covers are pretty big right now, and I really like the way he draws Supergirl. Next we have a modern key issue of Edge of Spider-Verse 2, first appearance of Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman, or Spider-Gwen, I guess. Was really happy picking this up. I was initially looking for really any copy of it, but when this came up, it does have a couple spine ticks, but it does have the darker background. If you look it up, you'll see that there's a huge difference between this copy and the regular one. People call it a printing error, but CGC or CBS don't label it that way yet. Hopefully they will eventually. Next, with more Spider-Gwen. This is the Rups J. Scott Campbell variant of Spider-Gwen number 1, signed by J. Scott Campbell. It's got his little certificate of authenticity on the back. This is actually one of the few comics that I have never, there's 0 visible defects on it, which is fantastic. So I'll probably send that in to get graded and maybe probably signature verification from CBCS. But that's his, this is the sketch variant, I believe, numbered out of 1500. Next we have Invader Zim number 1 by Oni Press. Grew up watching Invader Zim, figured it'd be a nice little comic to have in the collection. Next we have East of West number 1. This is the regular standard cover, signed by Jonathan Hickman. It's a one of those Dynamic Forces specials, so it's numbered 109 out of 120. But if you guys don't know, East of West is probably my favorite Image series at the moment. Fantastic series. So if you haven't read it, pick it up. Very cool story and fantastic art. And then here was a kind of a random one that I picked up. Not quite sure why, but it's an Action Comics reprint from 1988, and it was the 50th anniversary edition. Next we have DC Universe Rebirth, Harley Quinn number 1. This is the Art Germ variant, sketch variant. Had to pick it up. That cover art is fantastic, so I might want to get this signed and sent in for authenticated signature from Art Germ. And then this is probably one of my favorite pickups that I got while I was gone. This is a copy of Zatanna number 16. Beautiful Adam Hughes cover. And I'll probably have this sent into Trinity Comics to have them witness the signature from Adam Hughes. Unfortunately, it does have 2 very small spine ticks, but this cover is very hard to get in a good condition, or in near mint condition, because of the red cover. It shows every small defect. but this is definitely the nicest copy I've seen. Okay, let me put these to the side. Alright, getting into some Green Lantern stuff. Looks like I forgot to put this one in a Mylar. But here is a Green Lantern Sinestro Corps #1, signed by Ethan Van Sciver, numbered 39 out of 150. Probably my favorite Green Lantern artist by far, and his signature is so cool. So I'll always pick up any kind of Ethan Van Sciver stuff when I can. Next we have a Green Lantern #48, the first appearance of Kyle Rayner, which is I guess a newer key issue for Green Lantern. You can find these, they're fairly common, and you can pick them up for a good, easy, cheap price. Next we have Green Lantern Corps #35. This is a comic that I pick up anytime I see it, specifically with the orange Green Lantern symbol right here, which was actually a printing error, and they recalled it. So any of the next editions of this, or printings of this, has a black Green Lantern symbol there. Next we have Blackest Night #1. This is the 1 in 250 sketch variant. Another comic, Green Lantern comic, or I guess not really quite Green Lantern, but another sketch variant that I pick up whenever I can and whenever I see it for a good price. Because it is 1 in 250, it is a very low print run. So I actually have 2 of these that I picked up. And people try to sell these for crazy prices on eBay, but you'll occasionally see them for under $30. I actually picked both of these up for under $30. Next we have another key issue for Green Lantern. A little less known, but this is Green Lantern #25, the supersized finale. And this is actually the first appearance of Atrocitus and I believe Larfleeze. So the Red Lantern, one of the original Red Lantern, and the Orange Lantern. And then probably the biggest key Green Lantern issue besides Showcase 22, which I showed in my last video, that I picked up is a copy of Green Lantern #87, which is the first appearance of John Stewart. This is actually a really nice copy, and I surprisingly won this in an auction at a very, very good price. And I would say this is in a 6.0 to 6.5. Needs a press and a clean, but a nice mid-grade copy. Alright, here we go with some Batman. Obviously everybody was freaking out about this when it came out, so I had to pre-order it from Midtown Comics. Pick this up, and its variant. Unfortunately, both copies are perfect, except the Batman 24 regular cover has a scratch on it. So, but I can't really fault Midtown Comics because they packaged their stuff so well when I got it. Alright, let me put these down. Here's another Batman. This is also a key issue. Key Neil Adams cover. Batman #227. It's got that Detective Comics 31 cover swipe. And probably one of my favorite Neil Adams covers. It's just a staple in any Batman collection. I don't collect a lot of Batman, but I saw this at, I think it was $50 in like a 3.0 very good range. So I had to pick it up. And then I'm pretty sure I'm ending this in a whole bunch of Rick and Morty comics. So here we have Rick and Morty #1. This is the 4th printing, as you can tell by Mr. Poopy Butthole up here. And this is actually pretty easy to mistake for a first printing because it is practically the same, and you'll see why in a second. So here's another 4th printing. Trying to get the glare off. Sorry, these Mylars, man. Alright, and so let me show you how similar they are. Here are 2 Rick and Morty first printings that I picked up, #1s. So you can see the only difference is the Mr. Poopy Butthole and the difference in the barcodes. So do not mistake a 4th printing for a first, because these are not cheap anymore. Here is a second copy of Rick and Morty #1 first printing. And then probably my favorite variant cover of Rick and Morty #1 that came out is this guy, the Books A Million variant, the BAM variant. 1,250 produced, and these have really skyrocketed in price over the past couple months. So if you can find one under $100, it would behoove you to pick it up. My speculation is that with the upcoming season 3 release of Rick and Morty, that these will probably go up in value quite a lot when all the hype is at its max during the 3rd season. So if you have the opportunity, pick them up, because they're pretty easy to find, but definitely not cheap to pick up. Alright, now I have the 3 CGC graded books I picked up. Got a Star Wars #1, 1977. This actually is one of the newer cases, but it doesn't have the inner well, and it does have the ripple effect, like the wave effect. So I already contacted CGC, and I can send it in and they'll reholder it for me for free. And then to match that, I got a CGC 9.2 Star Wars #107. These are actually the only 2 copies of or books in the series that I own. So I own #1 and 107, which is the beginning and the end of this series, and I guess I'll try to start filling in the middle here in the future. And then the last book I picked up was East of West #1, the Forbidden Planet variant, CGC 9.8. This is probably my favorite variant cover of East of West, because it's got good old death there in the center, and it was not an easy book to find, but I got pretty lucky. I had plenty of time to watch the market and wait for one to come up at a good price. So this is my deployment haul, or the second part of my deployment haul. I guess I'll have to update you guys with other future hauls. A lot of these are going to be going to CBCS, either to just get universally graded, and some will be going to get signed and hopefully witness signatures. But I will definitely be uploading more videos when I get the opportunity, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.